Now that the best from Samsung, the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra has officially launched, how does it compare to the best from Apple in the iPhone 13 Pro Max? What's up guys, Saf here on Super Saf TV, and as we do every year, we're gonna break down all of the key differences side by side, Super Saf style. So the first thing I want to talk about is the build and design. Now design is subjective, but I genuinely do like the design of both devices, especially the fact that they have this really nice matte finish on the back. And they're also very premium. We've got an aluminium frame for the S22 Ultra. We've got a stainless steel frame for the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which is more durable. Both devices are IP68 water and dust resistant, which is great. However, you can submerge the iPhone 13 Pro Max in water deeper compared to the S22 Ultra. Now, I'm not sure how much of a difference that's going to make to people, but if you are somebody who likes to take your smartphone for a swim, then you're probably going to be a little bit better off with the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now for colors, the iPhone 13 Pro Max is available in 4 colors. We've got a gold, a graphite, a silver, as well as the Sierra blue. The S22 Ultra, however, is available in 4 base colors. So we have this phantom black, a phantom white, a burgundy, as well as a green. But it's also available in 3 additional colors exclusively from Samsung.com. We've got a graphite, a sky blue, which looks quite similar to the Sierra blue, as well as a red. So you do get more color options on the S22 Ultra. If you are interested in picking up one of those exclusive colors, I'll leave a link down in the description below, which will also give you $50 of credit. Right, now in terms of the size, I gotta say both of these are big devices. The S22 Ultra is slightly taller, whereas the iPhone 13 Pro Max is slightly wider and heavier. And we do have some slight differences. On the iPhone 13 Pro Max, the edges are curved, but the sides are flat. Whereas on the S22 Ultra, the edges are a lot more squared off, but the sides are more curved. Now personally, I'm used to quite large phones, so I can get on fine with either of these, but if you are coming from a smaller phone, these may take some time to get used to. Right, now let's talk about the displays. These two have excellent large displays, 6.7 inches on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, 6.8 inches on the S22 Ultra. Now both are also using AMOLED technology, so we've got really nice contrast ratios, deep blacks and vibrant colors. But there are lots of differences. We've got ceramic shield on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. We've got Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the S22 Ultra. Now, I'm not somebody who does drop tests, but in my experience, both of these are very durable. The iPhone 13 Pro Max has a flat display, whereas the S22 Ultra has a curved display on the sides. Now, in my opinion, a curved display does look nicer, but in terms of practicality, I do prefer a flatter display. It's also easier to get screen protectors for a flat display compared to that of a curved display. And then if we look at the bezels, we do have small bezels on both devices, but we do get a higher screen to body ratio on the S22 Ultra because we have a punch out for the front facing camera, whereas we have a notch on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now this notch is 20% smaller compared to what we had on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but notch versus a punch out, the punch out is just way less obtrusive. The S22 Ultra also has many more advantages. So firstly, it does have a higher pixel density because of a higher resolution. So things will be a tad sharper. And although both devices have a 120 Hz refresh rate, which makes things very smooth, the S22 Ultra can go all the way down to just 1 Hz. The iPhone 13 Pro Max goes down to 10 Hz. This will make the S22 Ultra display more efficient, and it also allows it to have an always-on display. An always-on display is something that I find super useful. You can see your time and what notifications you have at a glance while your device is sitting there on the table. You don't even have to pick it up. This is something that's unfortunately not available on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I was really hoping for it this time. The S22 Ultra also has a brighter display with a peak brightness of 1750 nits. The iPhone 13 Pro Max is also a bright display, but it peaks out at around 1200 nits. So if you're somebody like me who uses your smartphone a lot outdoors and also always wears sunglasses, then you will definitely prefer the S22 Ultra. And for all of these reasons, I would have to give the win for the display to the S22 Ultra, although the iPhone 13 Pro Max does have a very nice display. Now, one of the reasons that we have the notch on the iPhone 13 Pro Max is because of Face ID. Face ID is a very secure method of facial unlock, and it works really fast and really well. The S22 Ultra also has face recognition. However, this is only using the front-facing camera. It's not using any additional sensors like the iPhone 13 Pro Max. So it's something that I don't use for security reasons on the S22 Ultra. However, the S22 Ultra does have an in-display fingerprint scanner. This is the 3D Sonic Gen 2 from Qualcomm. It's the same one we had last year, but it works really well. It's fast, it's very secure. Now, over the past couple of years, my preference has been an in-display fingerprint scanner because I've had to wear masks in lots of places. However, Apple has tried to come up with some solutions for this. Firstly, if you have an Apple Watch, you can unlock your iPhone with your Apple Watch. But with an upcoming update, iPhones will still be able to use Face ID even if you have a mask on by recognizing the area on the top of your face. So realistically speaking, I think this is going to come down to personal preference. I think both are absolutely fine. Now let's move over on to the camera. Hey! Oh, this guy again. Look, it's not the best job, but somebody's got to do it. Guys, look, I've been looking at the analytics and I'm going to be honest with you. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Around 60% of you guys watching are not subscribed. So, you know, if you're enjoying this video so far, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button and that bell icon so you get notified when we upload new videos. That's it. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, you guys might be getting fed up of seeing SideSaf so many times, but he's really keen for you all to subscribe. So if you haven't already, then maybe consider subscribing. There's going to be lots more Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra content coming up here on the channel very soon. I've been working non-stop to get as much content out there as possible. So yeah, please do. So cameras. Now I've actually done a detailed Super SAF style camera comparison between the S22 Ultra and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's around 20 minutes long and I cover pretty much all aspects of the cameras side by side. I'm going to link that video down in the description so you can go ahead and check that out if you really want to know the differences. But to give you a quick summary, we have a very similar camera setup on both devices. We have an ultra-wide camera, a primary camera, as well as a 3x telephoto camera. The S22 Ultra, however, does get an advantage because you have a periscope zoom camera, which gives you 10 times optical zoom and can go all the way up to 100 times. The iPhone 13 Pro Max maxes out at 15 times. Now, in my experience, when it comes to images, I did lean towards the S22 Ultra more thanks to its versatility, and Samsung also does a lot of processing on their images, which some people may not like, but I do like the look of the S22 Ultra images. The iPhone 13 Pro Max, however, is still the king for video. So if you are somebody who takes a lot of video on your smartphone, the S22 Ultra is good, but the iPhone 13 Pro Max is just better. You've got excellent dynamic range, great autofocus even in low light situations. Once again, I'm gonna link the full detailed Super SAF style camera comparison down in the description and in the cards, so do go ahead and check that out if you really wanna see what the differences between these cameras are. Right, now let's move on to performance. The iPhone 13 Pro Max is powered by the Apple A15 Bionic chip. This has been very smooth. You've got 6 GB of RAM to go along with that. The S22 Ultra is going to vary depending on your region. In certain regions, you will be getting the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, and in others, you will be getting the Exynos 2200 with either 8 or 12 GB of RAM. Now, it's come to a point where performance is so good on smartphones that you're literally looking at seconds of difference or sometimes milliseconds of difference. So personally speaking, I don't think you're gonna have any issues with either of these. They are both really good. And performance also comes down to software. So on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, we do have iOS and we have Android with One UI on the S22 Ultra. Now, you guys know I don't go into an Android versus iOS debate because a lot of it does come down to personal preference. I know people don't like it when I use the term personal preference, but that is literally the case. And both iOS and Samsung on One UI are really good with updates. You will get updates longer on your iPhone compared to your Samsung device because the updates come directly from Apple. But Samsung has really been keeping up recently. Now, a couple of points I do have to mention on the software side of things is that the S22 Ultra does take advantage of the larger display much more compared to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. On the iPhone 13 Pro Max, the icons are very large and there's really no utilization of that extra space. This is gonna look exactly the same as we have on the iPhone 13 mini. Now I get that's great for consistency and Apple does like to keep things consistent, but if you've got such a large screen, I want to be able to make the most of it. On the S22 Ultra, I can make the icons smaller, have an extra column, and you also have features like multi-window, which will allow you to have two apps open at the same time side by side. I also feel that the S22 Ultra is better in the way of multitasking. One of the examples I always give is whenever I'm uploading a story to Instagram, on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, if I then move on to a different app, it's not going to complete uploading that video onto my stories. It's just going to stop there in the background. On the S22 Ultra, it's just going to carry on as normal and I don't have to worry about it. On the iPhone 13 Pro Max, I've had lots of situations where I've kind of come back a few hours later and that story has not uploaded. Now I feel this is more down to the software compared to the RAM, because 6 gigabytes of RAM is still enough. So I hope Apple can improve this going forward. Another big advantage that you get on the S22 Ultra is the S Pen. Now this is enclosed within the device and it's also been improved quite massively with latency down to just 2.8 milliseconds. It's down from 9 milliseconds that we've had on previous devices, and it's also got lower latency compared to the Apple Pencil on the iPad Pro. Now I know an S Pen isn't for everybody, but for somebody like me who edits images a lot on my smartphone as well as sign documents and things, this is so useful. Unfortunately, you can't get anything equivalent to this on the iPhone. Now for speakers, we do have really good stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos on both devices. We've got one in the earpiece and one bottom firing. And in my experience, both of these sound really good. I don't think you're gonna have any issues. My friend Thunder E from Board at Work has actually done a detailed speaker test. So if you are really interested in the differences of speakers, then I'll link his video down in the description below. Now, one point I do have to mention is the connectors. So the S22 Ultra does have the more universal USB Type-C. The iPhone 13 Pro Max is still using a Lightning cable. This is something that I personally find quite frustrating because being an Apple user and in the ecosystem with my MacBook Pro and my iPad Pro, those devices use USB Type-C. However, if I'm traveling, I can't just take the one charger and cable. I do have to also take my Lightning cable with me for the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which is really frustrating. Now I get that there's lots of accessories that still support Lightning and it would be a big change, but Lightning was great in its time, but it's definitely outdated now. And I think it's time that Apple should definitely update their iPhones to have USB Type-C for the iPhone 14. However, at this point in time, I'm gonna have to give the advantage here to the S22 Ultra. Let's now talk about the batteries. So we do have quite large batteries on both of these. The S22 Ultra does have a larger physical battery compared to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. However, size does not matter. I guess it depends on the context, but when it comes to battery sizes, it really does not matter on the actual size of the battery because there's lots of other factors that do come into play. And in my experience, the iPhone 13 Pro Max is still the champ when it comes to battery life. Now that's not to say that the S22 Ultra has bad battery life by any means. It's really good and it gets me through the day absolutely fine. But I would say you do get around 15% better battery life on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. However, when it comes to charging, the S22 Ultra does get the advantage. First disclaimer, neither of these come with a charger out of the box. You will have to buy this separately. But the maximum charging speed that you can get on the iPhone 13 Pro Max is around 20 watts. On the S22 Ultra, you can get up to 45 watts, which will give you around 50% charge in 20 minutes compared to a 50% charge in around 30 minutes on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Both devices also have support for Qi wireless charging. You can get up to 15 watts of Qi wireless charging on the S22 Ultra. On the iPhone 13 Pro Max, if you use a standard Qi wireless charger, you can only get a maximum of 7.5 watts. The only way you'll be able to get 15 watts is if you use the proprietary MagSafe charger. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like MagSafe, and it's great that it just snaps on and you don't have to worry about lining it up or anything. And there's a whole bunch of accessories that also come to the iPhone thanks to MagSafe. But I would have liked for the iPhone to be able to support up to 15 watts for Qi wireless charging as well as with MagSafe. The S22 Ultra also has reverse wireless charging. This is where you can charge other devices such as earbuds and things on the back of the S22 Ultra. I'm gonna be real with you, this is something that I don't really use too often, but it's a nice to have. Finally, let's talk about storage and pricing. So the iPhone 13 Pro Max and the S22 Ultra are available in the same storage variants, 128, 256, 512 gigabytes, or a massive 1 terabyte version. However, the iPhone 13 Pro Max actually starts at a lower price compared to the S22 Ultra. Now, when we do go to the 1TB option, they're actually at the same price in the US, but the S22 Ultra actually flips and becomes slightly cheaper here in the UK. Also, currently in the US, you can actually get the 256GB version for the price of the 128GB version, and you can get the 512GB version for the price of the 256GB option. So that actually puts the devices pretty much neck and neck in terms of price. And you can also get an additional $50 of credit if you use my link down in the description below. This is an exclusive $50 of credit, which you're not going to find anywhere else. So based on all of that, you will be paying roughly about the same for both devices. So that is the detailed super SAF style comparison of the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra versus the iPhone 13 Pro Max. What is your choice and which one would you pick? Definitely drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. In terms of my opinions, I use both Android and iOS, and these are currently my go-to devices on both sides. I think they're absolutely great, and I'd have no problem recommending either of these. Of course, both have their advantages and disadvantages. On the S22 Ultra, you do have the S Pen, you have a better overall display, faster charging, as well as the periscope zoom camera. On the iPhone 13 Pro Max, however, you do get longer software updates, you get better battery life, and you still get the best video on any smartphone. That's what I think anyway. Definitely let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then do smash that like button for me. And don't forget, there's going to be lots more content coming up here on the channel with the S22 Ultra. If you don't want to miss it, then do consider subscribing and tapping the all notifications button. I'll also leave some related videos linked here so you can go ahead and check those out. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on Super Saf TV, and I'll see you next time.